Hi there, this is Carole Conlon, and we're now working on dowsing tip number 5. And I wanted to say a little bit more about how a person can complicate asking questions. We talked about how simple it is to ask questions if you keep them simple, keep them a single question at a time, and that sort of thing. I talked about that yesterday. But today, what I'd want to warn you about is if you are getting into dowsing or have been a dowser for a while, you have to take into concern your belief system. And so depending on the range that you're thinking about when you ask a question, depending on your experience, there can be some challenges. For example, I do believe in past lives. And so therefore, if I pick up my pendulum, a pendulum, and I'm asking, and this is a yes, this is a no for me, I'm asking, have I ever lived in a city other than Albuquerque at this time? I'm actually getting a no. Okay, so if I ask, is my name Carole? I get a yes. If I ask, do I have any other names than Carole? I get a yes. If I ask, am I Roger Rabbit? I can get a no. Okay, so yes, no, yes, no. But if I go to a question, for example, like, am I a dancer? Yes. Now, am I currently a dancer? I still get yes. Now, I do have some belly dancing credit in my background, but right now I definitely am not a dancer. And so where's that answer coming from? Well, in a past life, I was a dancer. And there is belief that the past, present, future are running at the same time. So with my expanded knowledge of this, when I ask the question, I have to be so particular about how I ask it. So I can ask, with this being yes, this being no, am I a dancer in this lifetime at this moment? And it goes finally to no. But gee, that could have tripped me up if I was still thinking about past lives as well. So sorry to complicate it for you, but it's a point that as an experienced dowser you have to be aware of and you have to take into concern. And if you're a beginner, it's also good to know, be forewarned. And so the more you know, actually, the more complicated it might be to ask your questions. And because you start taking into consideration past lives and stuff. So be clear, be clear, be clear when you ask a question. And be clear about what dimension you're in, what world you're in, and that sort of thing. And then, because I know some of you are just so ready to get out of the testing potatoes at the grocery store, what you can do is actually just make up a simple little chart, a yes-no chart, and a neutral line, and start practicing with that with your pendulum. And you can buy a pendulum, or you can take something that has a little bit of weight to it. Paper clip is usually not heavy enough, and put it on a string or a chain or something like that. And just so the bob, the part at the bottom, in this case here, is heavy, and you've got something to hold on to, and it can swing freely. And so you can play with that. And then if you really feel excited about that, Add a series of numbers, 1 through 10. And now you've got a percentage chart and a yes-no chart. That is so cool, isn't it? So we'll get you started here if you haven't already. And if you've been dowsing for a while and need to dust off your pendulum, it might be fun to do that. Anyway, thanks for staying for tip number 5, more about the questions, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.